शान्तं सजीवम् अद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च मां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे हरे। Bro, can at least give me the sharing permission?
So I don't see that option here. Uh,
Like participants.
is giving me option to put on spotlight, chat, rename, and allow record local files.
So,
Put in waiting. Maybe I'll call Prabhuji. I think in
okay,
that
okay.
case,
Yeah,
should call. Yes, Prabhu. Now you should be
yeah,
able to
yeah, yeah.
share.
I got it. Can be muted and can recite the shlokas along with me. Apanyadosho स्वभावा पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेता यश्रेयस्या निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम् येनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारण्यवरं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्ते धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यते अजायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयात् अजो नित्यशाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो हन्यते हन्यमाच्यते भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां त्वया बहिरतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते विकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैर्कर्माणि सर्वशा अहङ्कारविमूढात्मा कर्ताहं एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकालेनेऽहं योगो निष्ठपरं तपः परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि युगे युगे जन्मकर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेति तत्त्वतः तत्त्वादेयं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्येन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ते ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयो न एव ते आद्यन्तवन्ति कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां व्याप्तोऽनां शान्तिमुच्यते योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनन्तरात्मनां शुद्धावान् भजते यो मा समे युक्ततमो मतः Okay. Hmm. So this is yeah. Yesterday there was some discussion about can just chant and no need to do anything. So some little bit we'll discuss about it. Yeah. So this is a book called Shuddha Bhakti Chintamani by His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who is also a spiritual master and is also a GBC. And he has written also many other books like Venu Gita, Vilapakusumanjali. Yeah. So what he says is devotees often misinterpret Srila Prabhupada's statements about how advancement comes automatically. Such statements, they argue, mean that it is not necessary to try to raise oneself from one level of Krishna consciousness to the next. Spiritual elevation happens automatically. One simply needs to chant. We have already partially discussed the topic of automatic advancement in chapter 17 while discussing the purification of anarthas. There we concluded that it was necessary to understand why we commit offenses if we wish to recognize and avoid them. Here the topic is discussed in more depth, but in relation to practicing spiritual life according to qualification. Srila Prabhupada's statements about automatic advancement should always be seen in the context of his complete teachings. He never presents the idea as an alternative to devotees knowing and systematically applying the science of bhakti. Rather, he says that automatic advancement is part of the overall process. Were it otherwise, there would have been no need for Srila Prabhupada to write so many books or give so many instructions. He could have simply told the devotees to chant Hare Krishna and left it at that. But Srila Prabhupada emphasized the need to acquire knowledge about devotional service, and he encouraged his followers to make a sincere effort to put, to put such knowledge into practice. When devotees did so, then they would automatically advance. This understanding is embedded in the words continue to your best cited above and further reinforced by the following. And Jnana, you must be fully equipped with knowledge. The Bhagavad Gita is there, the Srimad Bhagavatam is there. Now we are publishing other books also. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So read them. If you read, you become fully qualified with knowledge. And Vijnanam, apply them in your practical life. And Astikyam, in full faith of the procedures and in Krishna. That will make you successful. Initiation lecture. In summary, devotees must know the duties appropriate to the various states of Krishna consciousness and apply this knowledge in their spiritual life with balance. As already mentioned, they should perfect the devotional practices that fit the stage of advancement they have attained and then move forward to the practices of the next stage. Yeah, Maharaj is talking about these stages like Adho Shraddha, Sadhu Shanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha Ruchi, that all. When they do so, their ability to adopt more elevated sadhana is guaranteed. Equipped with such knowledge and determination, devotees automatically advance through successive stages of devotion to ultimate perfection. In short, automatic advancement is a natural part of, rather than an alternative to, educated efforts to attain perfection. And also, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like, Yash Shastra Vidhi Mutsrujya Vartate Kamakarta Na Sasiddhim Avapnoti Na Sukam Na Param Gati. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. It's a little heavy also. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhakti Utpateva Kalpate. Unless one refers to Shastra Shruti, Smriti, and Puranadi, one spiritual activity simply disturbs society. Now, so this is all about Shastra. How Shastra is very important, is very foundational, and is very central to practicing Krishna consciousness. Now, a little about intelligence. How intelligence is important and how intelligence has to be purified and made strong by studying Shastra. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmana atmana jahi shatram mahabaho kama rupam durashadam. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty armed Ajna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. So, to control mind, one needs strong spiritual intelligence. तेषां सततयुक्तानां भजतां प्रीतिपूर्वकं दधामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयान्ति ते. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So, again, Krishna also is telling, I reciprocate with your devotional service by giving you the intelligence by which you can further advance. He doesn't he doesn't say, no, I'll perform miracles or something. That also he may do, but this is another important thing. And that may come through Shastra. It may not like some eureka experience, some intelligence may come, not like that. Need not like that. And then in the last, Krishna also says, Adhyasyate cha imam dharmyam samvadam avayo jnana yagnena tenaham ishtashyam iti me mati. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. So studying Bhagavad Gita and all, it's like engaging intelligence in Krishna's service. Yeah. So this course is intended to help us learn Shastra, understand it, and how to apply it to learn it, and also in that way strengthen our intelligence. So yeah, it's we should not have any doubts, so that we'll have clarity on why we are doing this course. Okay, so we will just summarize this what the last section, and then we'll proceed to the next. So the qualities of Atma is it's an eternal being. It passes through different bodies within life, with within life and after life. Yeah, within life as childhood to adult and old age, and afterlife to another body. Vasam sajirnani yata vihaya. It is indestructible, avikaryoyam, and immutable. It doesn't change, avikaryoyam. It doesn't undergo any transformation. It pervades through consciousness. So its symptom is consciousness. So that's what a living body feels pain and reacts to pleasure, etc. But a dead body cannot. Then it is unborn and primeval. Aja, it is unborn, and Shashwata, primeval. Purana, primeval. And it is invisible, and it is inconceivable, and it is found everywhere, Sarvagata. So these are some of the qualities of Atma which we discussed, and some applications of Atma Gyan. So no one is eternally lost. So everyone is always existing as the spirit soul, but maybe in different bodies. They were there in the past, they are in the present, and they will be there in the future. Then tolerance, we discussed little elaborately. Matra sparshasta kaunteya, shitoshna, sukha dukkada, agama apayana, anistam tatikshu. Bharata. And so if you are dutiful based on the knowledge of Atma, you will not incur any sin. And also Prabhupada refuted the Mayavad philosophy that how Atma cannot be divided and Atma is unborn. So uh, it's not Brahman is cannot be cut, and no, again everyone is merging into Brahman. So that thing Prabhupada has defeated that philosophy. Okay. Okay, so today who will want to read? Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Uh, yeah, so you can recite the shloka.
Yes, Prabhu.
Swadharmam api chavekshya na vikampitum arhasi
स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुमर्हसि
dharmyadhyadhinavartitvam adhi yuddhasheyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate.
धर्मे अधियुद्धश्रेयोऽन्यत् क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते.
In translation, considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. And so there is no need for hesitation. So in this section, Krishna gives different reasons why Arjuna should fight. So the first thing Krishna is saying is, it is your duty, so you should do it. Yes, Proj, you can read the highlighted portion.
Sure, Prabhu. Out of the four orders of social administration, the second order, for the matter of good administration, is called Kshatriya. Kshat means hurt. One who gives protection from harm is called Kshatriya. Trayate, to give protection. The Kshatriyas are trained for killing in the forest. A Kshatriya would go into the forest and challenge a tiger face to face and fight with the tiger with his sword. When the tiger is killed, it would be offered the royal order of cremation. This system has been followed up to the present day by the Kshatriya kings of Jaipur state. The Kshatriyas are especially trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is sometimes a necessary factor. Therefore, Kshatriyas are never meant for accepting directly the order of sannyas or renunciation.
Yeah, so in Manu Samhita also this verse is stated. Yeah, Prabhupada is quoting. Yes, Prabhupada, you can continue in the
In the
battlefield.
battlefield, a king or kshatriya, while fighting another king envious of him, is eligible for achieving the heavenly planets after death, as the Brahmanas also attain the heavenly planets by sacrificing animals in the sacrificial fire. Therefore, killing on the battlefield on religious principles and killing animals in the sacrificial fire are not at all considered to be acts of violence because everyone is benefited by the religious principles involved. The animal sacrificed gets a human life immediately without undergoing the gradual evolutionary process from one form to another, and the Kshatriyas killed on the battlefield also attain the heavenly planets, as do the Brahmanas who attain them by offering sacrifice.
So Prabhupada is saying that how Kshatriya, yeah, yesterday we discussed how sometimes religious violence is needed. So you quoted the example of Duryodhana. So yeah, so in that such cases it is needed. And then uh, even like Kshatriyas also, if they do their duty properly of fighting, if they fight for the righteous purpose, means based on dharma, then uh, if they die in the battle, they attain the heavenly destinations. Similar to Brahmanas. Yes, Proj, you can continue. There are two kinds of.
There are two kinds of swadharmas, specific duties. As long as one is not liberated, one has to perform the duties of his particular body in accordance with religious principles in order to achieve liberation. When one is liberated, one's swadharma, specific duty, becomes spiritual and is not in the material bodily concept. In the bodily conception of life, there are specific duties for the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas respectively, and these duties are unavoidable. Such swadharma is ordained by the Lord, and this will be clarified in the fourth chapter. On the bodily plane, Swadharma is called Varnashram Dharma or man's stepping stone for spiritual understanding. Human civilization begins from the stage of Varnashram Dharma or specific duties in terms of the specific modes of nature of the body obtained. Discharging one's specific duty in any field of action in accordance with the orders of higher authorities serves to elevate one to a higher status of life.
Thank you. So if one performs his Varnashrama Dharma, so he will get elevated. If somebody is doing his Kshatriya duties, then he may get elevated to Brahmana. And so there means it is both spiritual elevation also. Means Brahmanas are generally more spiritual than Kshatriyas. Generally. Means, so that way it is also spiritual elevation. It's not just some social or prestige thing. And yeah. So tell, as long as one is not liberated, means as long as one has material desires and one is functioning in this Varnashrama system, one should perform his dharma properly. Like if you see example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he's also beyond Varnashram, but actually beyond Varnashram means somebody has to be a Babaji. That is only beyond varnashram. Even sannyasi is also within varnashram. So, or like brahmacharis, they have their duties. Even sannyasis have some duties. So they have to do those things. And if you see example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is way beyond even Babaji's also. He's is Radharani only. But because he is functioning in the role of a sannyasi, he performed the duties perfectly. Yeah. So as long as even if one may be advanced internally, but if he is functioning in a particular role in the society, one should do complete justice to it. Otherwise, it sets a bad example and creates, again, some confusion and all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now the focus is so do prescribed duties in this section. So one should do prescribed duties so that one can get material enjoyment and can avoid material suffering. Okay. So the next shloka, Krishna describes how it leads to heavenly enjoyment. Yadrichaya chupapannam swargadwaramapavritam
यदृच्छया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतम्
sukina kshatriya partha labante yuddhamidrisham.
सुखिनः क्षत्रियाः पार्थ लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम्.
So those for them who get this opportunity to fight, actually such kshatriyas are fortunate. They are fortunate, sukina, fortunate, because for them it's a means to go to heaven. Swargadwaram apavrit. The translation, O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Let's proceed and read the highlighted section.
Yes, Prabhu. Lord Krishna condemns the attitude of Arjuna, who said, I do not find any good in this fighting. It will cause perpetual habitation in hell. Such statements by Arjuna were due to ignorance only. He wanted to become non-violent in the discharge of his specific duty.
You can continue for Kshatriya.
Okay, Prabhu. For a Kshatriya to be on the battlefield and to become non-violent is the philosophy of fools. In the Parashar Samhita or religious codes by Parashara, the great sage and father of Vyasdev, it is stated, Kshatriyo hi praja rakshan shastra pani pradandayan
Pradandayan
nirjitya
Nirjitya.
paras sainyadi kshitim dharmena palayet. The Kshatriya's duty is to protect the citizens from all kinds of difficulties, and for that reason, he has to apply violence in suitable cases for law and order. Therefore, he has to conquer the soldiers of inimical kings, and thus, with religious principles, he should rule over the world. Parashar Smriti 1.61.
You can
Considering
continue.
all aspects, Arjuna had no reason to refrain from fighting. If he should conquer his enemies, he would enjoy the kingdom, and if he should die in the battle, he would be elevated to the heavenly planets whose doors were wide open to him. Fighting would be for his benefit in either case.
Yeah, so so Krishna is actually addressing the second reason which Arjuna gave. So according to Arjuna, he will be happy if his relatives are alive, hmm, so that he can enjoy with them. And he says that if I fight and even if I win the kingdom, if my relatives are dead, I cannot enjoy the kingdom. So Krishna is saying that, but if you are doing that, you are avoiding your duty, which will result in sin. And you will be actually happy when you do your duty. By doing your duty, if you win, then you get the kingdom and you will be happy. And if you lose, because you're fighting for a right cause, you will go to heaven. And also the same argument even applies for Bhishma. So even Bhishma, because he's also fighting, so he will also go to heaven. So now Krishna is saying like if you don't fight, you will lose fame, and it leads to sin. Atachetvam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi.
अथ चेत्त्वमिमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि.
तत स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि.
तथा स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि.
So papamavapsisi, you will incur sin, and you will also be bereft of your kirti and swadharma. If, however, you don't perform this religious duty of fighting, then you'll certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. Yes, Proj, you can read the highlighted portion.
Arjuna was a famous fighter, and he attained fame by fighting many great demigods, including even Lord Shiva. After fighting and defeating Lord Shiva in the dress of a hunter, Arjuna pleased the Lord and received as a reward a weapon called Pashupatastra. Everyone knew that he was a great warrior. Even Dronacharya gave him benedictions and awarded him the special weapon by which he could kill even his teacher. But if he abandoned the battle, not only would he neglect his specific duty as a Kshatriya, but he would lose all his fame and good name and thus prepare his royal road to hell.
Yeah, thank you. So the Manusmriti also says, "Na nivarteta sangrama." One should not turn away from battle. Yeah, so that's an injunction. So that's why Kshatriyas should not uh, leave the battle. So yeah, it's obvious. The meaning is obvious. So Arjuna will incur sin and will also lose his fame because till now he was very famous. Now, if he just by this, if he doesn't fight now, he will lose all that fame. That all fame get will get cancelled. Okay, and it's not just the previous fame will get cancelled, but people will start commenting on Arjuna negatively. So more ill fame will get added also. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te avyaya
Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayishanti te avyayam.
sambhavitasya chakirtir maranad atirichyate.
Sambhavitasya chakirtir maranad atirichyate.
Akirtir maranad atirichyate. Dishonor is worse than death. People will always speak of your infamy. And for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Yes, Proj, you can read the purport.
Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you do better to die in the battle. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for fear of your life. Better to die in the battle. That will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not withdraw.
Yeah. So that's what ill fame. People will speak bad of him. That so Arjuna has become a coward like that. People will speak. So that's what Krishna is giving another reason. And not only that, yeah, if somebody which Arjuna don't know, somebody in the nook and corner, somebody speaks, that's okay. Means that is one kind of dishonor. But let's say whom Arjuna adores most, like somebody like Bhishma and so if they speak, or like let's say Karna speaks, then it will pinch Arjuna more. So that's what Krishna is indicating in the next shloka. भयादरणात् उपरतं मांस्यन्ते त्वं महारथा
भयाद्रणादु परतं मंस्यन्ते त्वं महारथाः
येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यस्यसि लाघवम्.
येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम्.
Yeah, so here Maharatha refers to Bhishma and Drona. The great generals who have highly esteemed your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear only, and thus they will also consider you insignificant. Yeah, but so Krishna is saying, Arjuna may say that no, but how can I gain infamy from neglecting to fight out of compassion and avoiding the sin of destruction of the family? But yeah, Krishna is saying, see, they will not understand all these things. These reasons also may make some sense to you, but others will not understand, and others will think in this way. Yes, suppose you can read the purport.
Yes, Prabhu. Lord Krishna continued to give his verdict to Arjuna. Do not think that the great generals like Duryodhan, Karna, and other contemporaries will think that you have left the battlefield out of compassion for your brothers and grandfather. They will think that you have left out of fear for your life, and thus their high estimation of your personality will go to hell.
Yeah. So, yeah. So now Krishna is summarizing all this. Avachyavadamscha bahun vadishyante tavahita
Avachavadanश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहिताः
nindantastava samarthyam tatho dukkataram nakim.
निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं नु किम्.
Yeah. Yeah, your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What will be more painful for you? Moreover, your enemies, Ahita, the sons of Dhritarashtra, will criticize you, your previously recognized bravery, and call you many displeasing words like barren sesame seed, useless person. What extreme pain will you receive from hearing such pleasing words? Yeah, these all things our acharyas have given. So the meaning, it's their interpretation. Yeah. This project can read the purport. So,
Lord Krishna was astonished in the beginning at Arjuna's uncalled for plea for compassion, and he described his compassion as befitting the non Aryans. Now, in so many words, he has proved his statements against Arjuna's so called compassion.
yeah, thank you. So now Krishna has given different reasons. So first is it's your duty. Second is it will give you material enjoyment. If you win, you will get the kingdom. If you lose, you will go to heaven. Then third, you will lose your previous fame, uh, and it will add ill fame from the masses, and also you will be dishonored by Bhishma and Dhritarashtra, sons of Dhritarashtra. So better is you fight. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महिम्
हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महिम्.
तस्माद् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चय.
तस्मादुत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युध्याय कृतनिश्चयः.
कृतनिश्चय, be determined to fight. O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. Yeah.
Even
So,
though there was no certainty of victory for Arjuna's side, he still had to fight, for even being killed there, he would be elevated into the heavenly planets.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, so means these results we have to consider sometimes, like, but it's not like only the results, but the purpose also. Yeah, like sometimes when doing services and all, that consideration is needed, like during marathon or maybe now Janmashtami also some kind of scores, targets are there. So they help us also in focusing on the service and all. So they're needed, like even Prabhupada, like once Burjan Prabhu, he gave, I think, 50, I think $500. So $200 he gave to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very happy for the donation and all. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj then gave $20,000 check. But Prabhupada was not, so happy. He was a little critical and he said, you should do more and all. So because he has more capacity. So to encourage him to do more and to be more serious in the service, Prabhupada showed that thing. Yeah. So results, we may focus on results, but the purpose is to do more service to Krishna and to also encourage others to do more service that way. It's not so that we get the first prize, or that should not be there. Okay, now Krishna will tell. Uh, Now Krishna will take a sudden shift. Let's see that. Sukha dukkhe same kritva labha labho jaya jaya.
सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभौ जया जयौ
तथो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि.
ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि.
So now this is the third reason which Arjuna gave is sinful reactions. That if I kill my relatives and all, which according to Niti Shastras, they say it is sinful. It should not be done. So that is Arjuna's concern. So now, till now, Krishna was telling, no, you will get happiness, and if you fight, you will avoid the misery of being dishonored. But suddenly, Krishna is now telling, be equiposed in the happiness and distress, and fight for the sake of fighting, which means fight because it is your prescribed duty as a Kshatriya. Do though fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin. Yeah. So being equal, sama means to remain unchanging in this world in all circumstances. So yeah, whether you get defeat or not, focus on doing the duty means how you should contribute. So contribute in that way. Not being attached to happiness and its cause, victory and having dislike of unhappiness and its cause, not attaining a kingdom due to defeat or being something hard, engage in fighting. Engage in the fighting only because it is your duty. As a fighter, you will not incur sin in killing them because of your disposition of desiring liberation. So if one has this attitude while doing his duty of not focusing on material happiness and distress, and one does his duty, then doing that duty, that act will purify him from sinful reactions. So this is going to be elaborately described in the coming verses. Yeah, we can read it. Yes, Proj, you can read Lord Krishna Lord.
Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness, so there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor is he a debtor to anyone, as one is in the ordinary course of activities. It is said, देवर्षिभूताप्तनृणां पितॄणां न किङ्करो नायं ऋणी च राजन् सर्वात्मनाय शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुन्दं परिहृत्य कर्तम्. Anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor, nor is he obliged to anyone, nor the demigods, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor kinsmen, nor humanity, nor forefathers. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.41. That is the indirect hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse, and the matter will be more clearly explained in the following verses.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so here Prabhupada gave a devotional interpretation of this verse. Though here Krishna is more focusing on doing prescribed duty uh, without any consideration of happiness and distress, material happiness and distress, doing it for the sake of purification and liberation. Of course, Prabhupada is saying how in devotional service, it's a devotional interpretation, how in devotional service one should only focus on the pleasure of Krishna, and that way one may not incur any sin or anything like that. Yeah, So you can think about these four questions. Give instances from Shastra where devotees apparently committed sinful reactions but are not affected. And then is devotional service a license to commit sin in that case? So you can explain why it is yes or no. And then give examples from Shastra where one performed devotional service with material motives. Then while performing service, how to avoid these material motives or futile mentality. Okay. So you can take around 5 minutes and then we'll discuss. Thank you.
Yashoda, uh,
Hare Krishna. So for the first question, give instances from Shastra where meaningless. Anyone else? Yes, bro, we can answer.
Arjuna himself, and other example is
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Maharaj while doing Ashwamedh Yagya, he was not affected by it, right? Because sacrificed horses, but
Okay, okay. Okay. Yes, Vaikuntha Bari, bro, can answer.
Ajamil, Prabhuji, for the first question. Ajamil, Ajamil.
After becoming a devotee, he did not do. Yeah, the previous sins he was
He
not
committed so many sinful
affected.
actions, but that
Before, yeah. Okay. That way you can say. Okay, fine. Any other? Okay. Yes, Avatari Chetan Prabhu.
Prabhu, Maharaj Yudhishthir speaking the lie on the battlefield.
Okay, yeah, fine. Okay. Yes, Rani Mataji.
Prabhuji Vishwamitra and Ajamil.
Vishwamitra, what is the incident?
He committed sin against Vashishtu Muni. So he wanted to get the cow which Vashishtu Muni was having.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, he was cursed or something. Then Lord Rama came, and he just by his presence, automatically his heart was purified, and all his sins were, what do you say?
Yeah, we
He
can.
got rid of all that guilt when Vashishmini, so he already has made him relieved of that, but he was having that guilt. But just when he came in contact with Sri Ram, his guilt went off.
Okay, yeah. One thing is, yeah, there is material results. Okay. Yeah, one thing is gopis is a good example. Like gopis have left their home and they, when Krishna played the flute in the midnight, they left their homes. So, which is wrong as part of the grihastha ashram, on part of being a wife. So that it is purified. So that is one example. And
Prabhuji Jagai Madai also.
yeah,
Although they were
yeah,
sinners, but just by
yeah,
coming in contact with Lord Nityananda Prabhu,
yeah,
they were
yeah. Correct,
released
correct.
out of their sins.
Yes. Okay, correct. Good. Thank you. Okay, so now,
can I answer the first question, Prabhuji? One more example.
yeah, yes, bro.
Gopis, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we discussed it, but yeah,
Gopis, actually, they left their husband and then they used to come to.
yes. Correct.
So,
Yeah, very
thank
correct.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, now,
Thank you.
so is devotional service a license to commit sin? So, what do you say? Yes or no? And how to just
Can I
explain?
answer, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Uh, opportunities
Sorry, we are not able to hear you.
facilities, and empowerment to do the reward. Opportunities, and then
Mm-hmm.
facilities, and then
Mm-hmm.
empowerment. It
Mm-hmm.
comes from the Lord. So
Bro, somehow sorry.
before misusing this power, we should know to whom it belongs. We should not do the simple activities, or we should not do the. There is a one seventh aparadha is also
Yeah.
this
Yes.
nama aparadha
Offenses
is
to
also
holiday.
there, na, that
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
offense to the holy name. So
Mhm.
it's not advised.
Yeah, it's
Strictly
not a.
prohibited.
Mhm.
It's not. It's not a license to do the simple to
Mhm. Okay. Okay, but some more explanation? No one wants to.
commit simple.
Yes. But on what basis should a devotee risk committing sin? It's,
Prabhuji, if it is
mm,
as an instruction from Guru or Krishna,
mhm. Okay.
and if it is a prescribed thing, and if we do that, then we'll not commit sin.
Mm. Okay, yeah. Basically, if it is conflicting with devotional service, then with the understanding that devotional service is higher than the following the dharma, and yeah, with also at sadhaka level, yeah, it's always good to take guidance. The-
Because sin definition is
mm,
going against the laws of God.
yeah, yeah, that is correct. Because even that the same laws of karma are also kept by Krishna. So that way Krishna can absolve it, but we should also have the proper attitude. Yeah, generally, but always it's recommended that we follow the laws of the state as well as the laws of God, both. Should not break traffic rules or something, etc. And it sets a bad example also to the society. So we should not do that. Okay, now give examples from Shastra where one performed devotional service with material motives.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yeah, let's take from others. I'll come to you. Yes, Sharad Prabhu.
Dhruva Maharaj.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
sure.
Okay, Soni Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Dhruv Maharaj only. And another one is Arjun. Although it was prescribed by Lord, but he went for tap and all for material gains only.
Papa and all. Which
That
case?
he did that. What you say,
Which tapas?
Indra.
Okay,
He went for Indra.
yeah.
He to get some benedictions from heaven. So for
Yeah, but
Agyatwas and all.
yeah, they are for material needs, but that is for doing his prescribed duty as a Kshatriya. He did not go exactly for enjoying. So
No, that is
it's
what material motive. That's why I thought
no
that is it.
material motive means see, externally we may be doing material activity, but we may do it for a spiritual cause.
Okay. Yes.
Motive means purpose. Purpose when doing
Yes,
an
yes.
activity. It's not the activity itself.
Yes, Prabhuji, got the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody is working also earning money, but he can have spiritual motive to offer it to Krishna or for the service of Vaishnavas, which also may include his family like that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
enjoying mentality.
Yes. Avatari Chetan Prabhu.
Prabhu, once Aditi performed the sacrifices for getting the kingdom back for Indra,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 That is also there. And
and Diti performed
yeah.
another sacrifice for killing Indra.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Correct. This is correct. Okay. Yes. Shrikant Prabhu, you want to say? Ah,
No, bro, I think I was thinking about gopis. They wanted a husband, and they
okay.
performed. But
Okay.
I don't.
That is in one
Not
sense connected to Krishna. Okay. 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 So yes, Vaikuntha Bari
Can
Prabhu
I
want to
answer,
say?
Prabhuji?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sandipani, those Brahmana's son to whom Mahavishnu was used to steal, stole,
Okay.
and then Krishna and Arjun they went to bring
Yeah,
the son back.
of course, they did not exactly do devotional service, so that's not that related. Okay, yeah.
Prabhuji, Indra, can we say?
Ah,
Means most of the time, whenever
yeah.
he is in danger.
Yes, yeah. Okay. Also, Pururava is also there. He performed yajna and wanted Urvasi. That's there. Okay, so the last one, while performing service, how to avoid fruity mentality. Yes, Soni Mataji, you want to say?
Yes, Prabhuji. If one is always into the consciousness that Lord is the only enjoyer, and our constitutional position is just as a servant to his lotus feet,
Yeah.
so we will not have this tendency to get the fruitive results. So if we are constantly doing devotional service, we should always remember that only Lord is the supreme enjoyer. This can keep us away from fruitive
Okay, okay. Yeah,
mentality.
hearing will help. So if we hear, then the proper service attitude will be reminded, and that will help. Yes. Yes, Srikant Prabhu.
On same lines, having the attitude to we are doing the service for pleasure of Lord and devotees. Again, it's on attitude level. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, Amrita Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. We can whatever fruit we get, we forward to our guru, because we haven't any ability to do anything. Because of their mercy, we can do the service.
Yeah, yeah, correct, correct. Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so the ability we may have, abilities also sometimes or quite sometimes we learn from devotees only. But sometimes we may have ability, but the desire to offer it to Krishna that uh, actually came by hearing from devotees and by their inspiration only. So actually Krishna focus on that. So that has come from devotees only. So uh, the credit actually goes to devotees.
Devotee.
Okay, okay. Sharad Prabhu, you want to say? Okay.
Uh, I was also about to say on the similar lines that we should have proper purpose. We should know the proper purpose for what purpose we are doing. And secondly, whatever abilities we have, we will be having
मैच करना
to perform those service. It is
देखो
also given by Krishna. So nothing belongs to us. So we should not have the attitude to do it for our enjoyment.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
While performing the service, we should know that if we try to become a pure devotee, then we can go back to Godhead.
Mhm.
And
Okay, that
keeping
way.
that attitude, the fruitive mentality can be avoided. And Lord loves the pure devotee.
Okay, okay. That way. ठीक है. Yeah, yeah. If we do with pure motives, then that will be pleasing to the Lord. Okay, that's also good. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now we are entering this Buddhi Yoga section, which is explaining the Nishkama Karma. So yeah, we'll continue.
I'm sorry,
Ishate
Prabhuji, for yesterday's argument.
uh, okay,
Sorry.
thank you. Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry for yesterday's presentation.
No, no, we can discuss that later. Thank you. एषा ते अभिहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योग इमं शृणु.
Thank you.
एषा ते अभिहिता साङ्ख्ये बुद्धियोगे त्विमां शृणु
बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहस्यसि.
बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि.
The translation: thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Yeah. Uh, I will read it so that little to save time. Yeah. According to the Nirukti or the Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail. And Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul. And yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins, the son of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. So, uh, yeah, like the both reasons. Forgetting his, he wanted to because he thought by killing he'd be happier. Yeah. So he wanted his relatives to be there so that he can enjoy the kingdom. So that is for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on the basis of personal sense gratification, even at a sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper, and he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. This is the first sloka. They were individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present, and they will continue to remain individuals in the future. Because all of us are individual souls eternally. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna, and this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sankhya in terms of the Nirukti dictionary. So basically, Buddhi Yoga means intelligence fixed in Atmagyan and doing our duty for purification. So the it's not just doing the duty, but with the knowledge of the Atma. So then only it becomes Buddhi Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga, whatever. So this is like do prescribed duties for purification and liberation. And of course, yeah, with knowledge of Atma, I think that is that. Yeah, so with knowledge of Atma also. Now, Prabhupada is telling about the Sankhya philosophy actually was by Lord Kapila and all. And then there is another Kapila who gave a wrong Sankhya philosophy, etc. So what Prabhupada is talking is actually there are three Sankhya philosophies. So one Sankhya philosophy uh, takes 24 elements, which means 10 senses, working senses, knowledge acquiring senses, then 8 elements. Bhumira, Bhumira, Bhumirano, yeah, the earth, water, fire, air, ether, plus mind, intelligence, and ego. So these 8 plus 5 sense objects for each, knowledge acquiring senses: sight, smell, touch, sound, and sight, smell, sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste, and plus Prakriti. So this all add to 24. So this is the Sankhya philosophy, which is among the 6 systems of philosophy. So there is a person called Kapila in that line of teachers, and he has a disciple called Ishwar Krishna, who is more famous, who wrote a book called Sankhya Karika. So it's very famous in the academic world and all that. Now there is another uh, Sankhya philosophy which tells there are 25 elements. Means all these 23 plus Prakriti plus Purusha. Purusha is Mahavishnu. So this is 25. Then I think it's not Mahavishnu, it is Atma. I'm sorry. I should do or is it Bhagwan? No, it could be Mahavishnu, but yeah. So then it only focuses on liberation, means it doesn't. I'll check it, but it should be Mahavishnu. Okay, then there are 26, which is like Prakriti, Purusha, and Purushottama, who is Krishna. So this the sadhana here prescribed is devotional service. This is given by Lord Kapila in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah. So Mahavishnu as yes, you have some question.
Prakriti meaning material nature.
Yeah, material nature. Yeah.
So all the chemical elements.
Yeah, means she is controlling all the things, no, elements, senses, everything.
I mean, this is also the sense objects and all are also part of Prakriti only, right? Or they're different?
They are all under control by Prakriti. Yeah, like that. Means in the 24 elements, the top is Prakriti. Means everything is happening by Prakriti only. So there is no further something above Prakriti. And in 25th, so there is Mahavishnu who is doing it. So if you worship Mahavishnu, you will get liberation, something like that. And in 26th, there is Krishna also above Mahavishnu. So if you do devotional service to Krishna, you will attain Krishna. So that is the conclusion. So these are three types of Sankhya philosophy. Yeah, if you see the purport, Prabhupada says, no, thus the Buddhi Yoga mentioned in this verse is the devotional service of the Lord. And the word Sankhya mentioned here, it has nothing to do with the atheistic Sankhya Yoga initiated by the impostor Kapila. Yeah. So if you see Prabhupada is no, it gives quite often devotional interpretations, and it is not wrong in the sense that if you see the final instruction of Krishna, no, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto or Sarvadharman Parityaja, it indicates devotional service. So in that way, trying to interpret every verse of Bhagavad Gita from that perspective is not wrong. But generally, the general thing is if somebody wants to give a commentary on a verse, they generally think they are explaining the context in which the verse is there. So sometimes some people will have objection and all, and it becomes difficult. So if you see this example,
where Krishna says Buddhi, that's there in the shlok. The shlok contains the word Buddhi. The translator has written Bhakti. No, this is culpable.
so that's what some people criticize it. But yeah, unless they are devotees, they cannot appreciate this kind of purpose. And yeah, because Prabhupada mainly wanted some books for devotees, so Prabhupada has done that. And so even Prabhupada also said that no, I want to again write a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So yeah, that is there. And our focus also in this course, we need to also understand the flow of Gita and all. So we will try to read the purports, but we will first focus on the part which is more related to the context of the shloka, and then we will see devotional application. Sometimes we will see. Otherwise, it also may create confusion in understanding the flow. So for that, if you have Gita Subodhini, it is best, or yeah, you can try to get it because Gita Subodhini, the flow is explained correctly. Then otherwise, if you just go by the purports, it may be little challenging to understand the flow of the Gita, especially in the 6 chapters because they deal with Karma Yoga and Dhyana Yoga and all, and having devotional interpretations, it may little confuse. But in the second section of 7 to 12 chapters, it is Bhakti Yoga only, so that will not confuse so much. So that also we'll first try to focus on the uh, flow and see as and when possible devotional applications. Okay. Yeah. And because we also have to if we understand what is Karma Yoga and what is no Dhyana Yoga and all, then we can appreciate how Bhakti Yoga is superior. Because in NOD and all, these kind of concepts come. How even karma yoga and Gyan yoga and Dhyan yoga are dependent on bhakti to get success. So those concepts to understand, we have to understand these concepts in this way. So for that we have to focus on the flow. So then we'll understand karma yoga and all what exactly are they. I hope it's understandable. So now, yeah, so Krishna is basically saying based on the knowledge of Sankhya, Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means acting, doing our prescribed duty with this knowledge of Sankhya. Sankhya is basically the Atma Gyan. Yeah. Okay, so now Krishna is describing some characteristics of this path of Buddhi Yoga. So first is, yeah, the progress on this path is imperishable. Niha Vikramanashoste Pratyavayo na vidyate.
नेहाभिक्रमणाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते
स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्.
स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्.
Okay. The translation: in this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Okay, so now Karma Yoga, there are two types of Karma Yoga. One is Sakama Karma Yoga, or you can also say Kamya Karma, and there is Nishkama Karma. So in Sakama Karma, the goal is material, Swarga or wealth, and there is no realization of Atma Gyan by performing it. And any mistakes, they have to suffer reactions or they have to do atonement while if they commit some mistakes. In Nishkama Karma, the goal is liberation or purification of the heart. So there is eventual realization of Atma Gyan. They have that understanding in mind and they will get more and more deeper understanding and realization of that knowledge. And mistakes, if if they happen to commit some mistakes while performing Nishkama Karma Yoga, they get nullified through because of that, and they will also, because they also practice detachment and also uh, they're immune from the sinful reactions. They're protected from the sinful reactions because of some mistakes and all. Yeah. So Prabhupada in the purport explains specifically about the Krishna consciousness, how if you surrender to Krishna and if you, in that course, if you neglect your prescribed duties, then it is also not a problem. Yeah. But this verse actually applies to Nishkama Karma Yoga, and it applies to Jnana Yoga, it applies also to Dhyana Yoga. It's not just this only applies to Bhakti Yoga, because all of these are performed at a spiritual level. So the progress is preserved there. So that's why there is no diminution in that. Yeah. So there are three types like samsara. Samsara means just living a materialistic life, which means they are not following Vedas. So which means they are committing vikarma. And yeah, if they don't follow Vedas, then it becomes vikarma and they have to get sinful life. And yeah, so modern day society is an example. Means they accrue pious activities as well as sinful reactions. And sakama karma, they're following Vedas, so they create karma, means they get pious results, and they have but material goals in life. And because they have material goals, their focus, they are attached to the results. So while performing the activities, they may not be able to focus on that, and because of that, they may commit some sins and mistakes for which they have to suffer. And spiritual progress will be very, very slow. Though because they are following Vedas and all, they will get slowly Atma Gyan, but it is very, very slow. And yeah. So very slow progress towards liberation. So example is demigods. And Nishkama Karma, they are following Vedas. But because their goal is liberation, so it is akarma. Akarma means they don't get pious pious reactions, or they don't accrue sin. Neither pious reactions nor sin. This we have studied in Vishwapanishad, second shloka. So they are more focused in their duties, so less likelihood of committing sins, and their progress is gradual, means quite quick, and they are purified from the sinful reactions. So these are three different. Okay. So now Krishna contrasts Sakama karma with Nishkama karma in the next few shlokas. So till, if you see the previous section, Krishna has described Sakama karma. So now Krishna tells how uh, that is not so good, and how Nishkama karma is better. Okay. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेह कुरु नन्दन
बहुशाखा हि अनंतश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनम्.
बहुशाखा हि अनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम्.
Yeah. So for one who is doing Nishkama karma, their Vyavasayatmika, their intelligence is focused. Their intelligence is focused on no liberation, or getting more realization of Atma Gyan, or purifying themselves from the sin. But those who are performing Sakama karma, they have so many material desires in the mind. So their intelligence is not that focused. Okay. Yeah, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, the Nishkama Karma, the goal is liberation or purification of heart. So the no other goal. So the focus is very high. Buddhi is fixed in Atma Gyan. Yeah, Harishchandra's story. Yeah, we will see. But the Sakama Karma, Bahushaka Buddhi, means there is material things. They want wealth also, they want social position also, they want to go to Swarga also. So many goals, difficult to choose. Now also, if you see in the modern world, there are so many products, so many brands. Some are cheap, some are quality is good, some are imported, so they look prestigious. So which one to purchase? So similar thing with Sakama Karma also. Which will give us most happiness? All that confusion will be there. Yeah. If you see Harishchandra's story, that once by mistake he offends Vishwamitra Muni, and Vishwamitra Muni becomes very upset, and then Harishchandra begs forgiveness and says no, as an atonement, not as atonement. So, he seeks forgiveness, and he asks him, please instruct me on what I should do. Whatever you want, I'll do. So then he says, I'm performing a Rajya, so give all your wealth. Then he gives all the wealth except yourself and your queen and your son. So then he gives the kingdom and all, and then he leaves the kingdom and he goes to Kashi. But still, Vishwamitra says, I need more wealth. Then in Kashi, he's in anxiety on what to do. Then the queen says, okay, you sell me, and by that money you can give to Vishwamitra. So he does that. And uh, but his son also wants to be with the queen, so they both were sold. Then still Vishwamitra says, no, no, I need more money. So then the king himself wants to sell himself. So he says, okay, you purchase me. So Vishwamitra says, okay. Uh, Vishwamitra takes him as a servant and says, I am selling you to this Chandala. So then he sells him to Chandala and he takes the money. And the Chandala makes Harishchandra as a crematorium, as a watchman at crematorium. So then Harishchandra will be thinking, that oh, means he feels sad. Okay, what all things happen? Then he thinks, okay, this must be my karma. So I am suffering the results of my destiny. Then what happens? Then suddenly, in the same, he thinks he's in dream, and his queen is crying and all. But actually he sees no her son, his son dies of a snake bite, and his queen is crying. So then she Then he allows her, and then she is making the arrangement to cremate the body and all. Then he thinks, no, no, I should commit suicide. So much misery, and I'm causing so much trouble for everyone. Then he says, okay, even if I commit suicide again, I have to in the next life I have to suffer my same destiny. So let me suffer in this way. So in that way he goes, and but actually he realizes that his queen has not paid money for cremating. So he asks her and all. So then all the demigods and all, they are pleased with his dutifulness, and then they uh, take him to heaven, etc. So the point is that how Harishchandra is fixed in the Atmagyan, and uh, he went on
We're
with his
not able to
prescription.
hear you properly. The voice.
Is it the same way the others?
No, it's clear for us.
Oh. So he's fixed in the Atma Gyan, and whatever challenges he's getting means no that so much misery is undergoing. He saw it as a destiny, and he went on with his prescribed duty. Whatever situation is there, that duty he was able to carry. So that is means that Vyavasayatmika focused thing was there in Harishchandra. But in Bahushaka Buddhi, like if you see Dhritarashtra, he was attached to Duryodhana. So he wanted Duryodhana to be only king. So he was not able to uh, execute his duty as a king. Like when Draupadi approached him for protection, uh, because as a king, it is his duty to protect her. But he was not able to do that, and Dushasana destroyed her, and also this is all because of Bahushaka Buddhi. Okay. The translation is those who are in this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Gurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Yeah, so this is the contrast. The Prabhupada explains more in a devotional sense. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasayatmika Bhakti. So faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family, traditions, humanity, or nationality. Due to activities or the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. Yeah. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. Yeah. So to remain focused in Krishna consciousness, one should have knowledge, and another is service in Krishna consciousness is however best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna. And one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Yeah. This thing, it also inspired Srila Prabhupada. So this verse and the purport of Vishnu Chakrita Thakur in this verse. Yeah. So two things Prabhupada spoke, knowledge and another is guidance. So these two things will keep us focused in devotional service. The whole process, however, depends on the perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically. And there is no longer a chance for sense gratification and fundamentals. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to see some modern examples of karma yoga, like Arya Samaj is some example where in some way Nishkam karma encouraged, like doing prescribed duties based on Vedas and doing yajnas and all. So that is there. And to some extent in Christianity, Judaism and Islam also it is there. But there it is more like karma kanda, you can say, rather than nishkam karma. So the emphasis on spirituality is less, but yeah, that is there. Like even Radhanath Maharaj also writes about his parents. In journey home, my parents, Gerald and Edelslaven, were not particularly religious in a formal sense. Rather, they expressed their faith in God through their gratitude, generosity, kindness, and dedication to the family. So basically, they are doing prescribed duties as a service to God. So it is like Nishkam karma in some way. Yeah. So that is the like means we can see some examples or some similarities with Nishkam karma in today's life. Okay. Yeah. Now Krishna describes about what is the problem in Sakama karma. Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipashchita
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्ति अविपश्चितः
Vedavadarata partha nanyad astiti
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः
कामात्मना स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदम्
कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरा जन्मकर्मफलप्रदाम्
क्रिया विशेष बहुलं भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति.
क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति
The translation: Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, result in good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So they say that the heavenly enjoyment is all in all. What is they say? Prabhada, yeah. Yamima Pushpata. Nanyad Astiti Vadina. There is nothing better than this. Yeah. So Avipashchitaha means they are ignorant. They are ignorant of the spiritual knowledge. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karmakanda portions of the Vedas. Vedavada Rataparda Nanyad Astiti Vadinaha. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven where violent women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotistoma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices, and men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. Yeah, so they say that the Vedas means you have to do sacrifices, and by that you will get material things. You want a good wife, you want good son, you want good husband, so do this, do that, like that. So this is all about Vedas. If you do this, then this is what you are following. And they also say some Nitya Karma, you have to do some Sankalpa and some things. And Naimitika Karma in terms of like no Shraddha, you have to do something like some samskaras like that also. They say. Think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. Yeah. Yamimam pushpitam vacham. The Karmakanda section of the Vedas, it is said, Apama somam amruta abhum and akshayam hivai chaturmasya yajna sukrutam bhavati. In other words, those who perform the 4-month penances become eligible to drink the somaras beverages to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have somaras to become strong and fit to enjoy sense gratification. So they are attracted by the flowery words described in the Vedas. In Vedas, they describe about Swarga, they describe about the opulence of Indra and all, so that the people get attracted to that. Kamatmana Swarga Para Kriya Vishesha Bahulam Bhogaishwara Gatim Prati. So such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. So they are Kamatmana. and they want to do big things for this Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. So this Vedic ceremonies, they are very expensive, like for some particular yajnas like Rasu Yajna and all, everything has to be in gold, even for I think Ashwamedh Yajna. So the vessels have to be in gold. Now we use some like no copper vessels and all, but ideally there should be gold and so it's very costly. And the brahmanas also, they have to be served in golden plates and all that. And even the all the paraphernalia of offering the for the sacrifice, everything has to be in gold. So it's a very expensive, and no ghee, so much ghee, also pure cow ghee is needed. So but because they are attached, so they are passionate in doing all this, so they want to earn more money and all, and they want to do this so that they'll get heavenly enjoyment and all. And they don't want anything other than heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandan Kanan, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of somaras wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual, and therefore there are those who are purely attached to such material temporary happiness as lords of the material world. Yeah, Pururava and Urvashi pastime, is it there? And I think I showed this thing. Yeah, I'll show you again. So these are some of the things, like if you make a public pasture, yeah, if you dig a pond in a public pasture, then you let get Varuna Lok. If you do it along the road, then you get Gaulok. If you do it in a desert, you get Brahma Lok. If you clean a temple pond, it is equal to donating 10 cows. So like that, different things are there. Yeah. If you do Ratnadan, like if you give Gome, then you attain Nandanvanan. So Indra Nilamani, if you give, you get different roles in Indra's kingdom. So like that, there are different things. If you give Vaidurya money, you get Surya Lok. If you give Vajra money, you attain Indra Lok. So like that. Okay. Where is this? Yeah. Yeah, if you give Tula Purushda, means if you give that many jewels as per the weight of a person, then uh, it appears that Tula Purushdan of gold would be made only by royalty or the super rich. The specific rewards are also described in similar terms, becoming a lord of all the worlds in each Manvantar and taken to Sri Vishnu's world on a glorious vehicle, being worshipped there for 100 crore kalpas. So, like that, like this, there are different things in the Vedas. If you do this, you will get this and all. Yeah. If you compare in modern terms, it's like combination of YouTube, Amazon, and Instagram. So Amazon is like, no, okay, you pay this price, you get this. Instagram means, yeah, like no, means the activities of devatas and all are described. How Indra enjoys in the heavenly planets, the beauty of heavenly planets. So all are described in the Vedas, and the things are there. Okay, if you want this, you do this. So it's like that. So that is the Sakama Karma thing. So because of Sakama Karma, one cannot focus on the spiritual knowledge or liberation. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya apahrita chetasam
भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तया अपहृतचेतसाम्
vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho na vidhiyate.
व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते.
Here the translation is, in the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Okay, the purport is Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary, the Niduktu says Samyak Adhiyate. Smin Atma Tattva Yatatmayam. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is said to be Samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyments and bewildered by such temporary things. So here the Samadhi is refers to the meditation on the Atma Gyan and all. So that is difficult when there is the desires for Bhoga and Aishwarya, when there is desire for wealth and when there is desire for uh, sense objects. So these are more or less condemned by the process of material knowledge. Yeah, they are more or less condemned. If you see the how the Bharat Maharaj got distracted, the Bhagavatam describes in this way. When Maharaj Bharat was actually worshipping the Lord or was engaged in some ritualistic ceremony, although his activities were unfinished, he would still at intervals get up and see where the deer was. In this way, he would look for it, and when he could see that the deer was comfortably situated, his mind and heart would be very satisfied, and he would bestow his blessings upon the deer, saying, "My dear calf, may you be happy in all respects." If Bharat Maharaj sometimes could not see the deer, his mind would be very agitated. He would become like a miser who, having obtained some riches, had lost them and had then become very unhappy. When the deer was gone, he would be filled with anxiety and would lament due to separation. Thus, he would become illusioned and speak as follows. Yeah. So this is how the material things they distract us from the focus on the spiritual knowledge and devotional service, etc. This is just an example. Material attachments and spiritual focus, like they go in together. Mm, sure. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can take this verse later. Can do some exercise. Okay, we will take this discussion and then we will stop because of course we started late also today. So you can think of some examples of devotees getting distracted from Shastra. Then what all things can cause distraction in our devotional service, and how we can avoid or decrease our distraction to wealth, and how we can avoid and decrease our distraction to opulences. Okay, and also you can maybe list down few ways you're getting distracted. And list the ways to avoid. Yeah. So the third and fourth, it is for your own self. We will not discuss. So we will discuss only first, second, and fifth, sixth. So you can take around 6 minutes and then we'll discuss. After discussion, we'll close. Okay, Hare Krishna. So for the first question, give some examples of distraction in Shastra. Okay, anyone else? Okay, yes, Shrikant Prabhu.
जी विश्वामित्रा,
Vishwamitra.
भरत महाराज,
Hmm.
अजामिला,
Okay, fine. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Prabhuji, please tell.
Prabhu, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find Chota Haridas
Okay,
and Kala Krishna
yes,
Das.
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay. Uh, now for second question, what all things can cause distraction in our devotion service? Yes, Soni Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, fame, wealth, opulences, even miseries and poverty sometimes, uh,
Okay, so if
and
we have this, we may get distracted. Okay.
relationships, yes, and even material hankerings.
Yeah, but material relationships are
Yes,
there, then
material relationships.
yeah.
Can I answer,
Okay.
Prabhuji?
Yes.
The most important distraction is the that attraction towards the opposite sex.
Okay, yeah. Uh, if we are in some way associated with opposites, okay, yeah, fine. Okay.
Number one
Yeah,
position.
material relationships in one sense, yes. Okay, who else are there? Yes, Avtari Chetan Prabhu.
Prabhu, what can cause distraction is bad association, our
Yes,
own past conditionings,
yes.
um, yes, Prabhu, material opulences.
Okay. Yes, bro. Very nice points. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes, Shrikant Pro. Okay. See.
ये सेम है पास कंडीशन.
Okay. Take it. Thank you. Okay, I hope third and fourth you have listed down. Okay, so for fifth one, what all ways we can avoid and decrease our distraction from wealth? Yes,
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
yes, bro.
Thinking that it is Krishna's property and it is to be utilized in Krishna's service.
Okay. Yes, very good point. Nice point. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Uh, yes, Shrikant Pro.
It's like properly planning, financial planning, like what is our basic necessities, what all we will need, what all we can donate, and
Okay.
what all we need to save for future.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Avtari Chetan Pro.
Prabhuji, over endeavor for mundane things which are difficult to obtain.
Okay. Yeah, if we avoid it, it will decrease our distraction for health. Yes, thank you. Okay, Soni Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, less accumulation and only earning as much as is needed for donation and self
Okay.
maintenance,
Yeah.
and
And
using the Lakshmi for service of Lord.
okay. Yeah, we should not do over endeavor. That's
Yes,
important.
right.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sixth, how you can avoid and decrease distraction from opulences. Opulences can be gadgets, vehicles, property, different things. Okay. Yes, Amrita Mataji.
When we be in a devotees circle,
Yeah.
means devotee association, then it will not come. When we go in a materialistic circle, then it will come. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It helps us in adopting simple lifestyle and yeah, materialistic life. We may get those material desires and all, but they talk about these things only, even if advertisements and all. Yes. Okay, Shrikant Pro.
I think Mataji has answered the root cause of it, but what I was going to say was to know what we want. There is no end to it, how much we can get. So know what our needs and stop like comparing with others, because then we get into that cycle of comparing it.
Yeah, if we may compare, but we may not have the ability, and some may have the ability. They may be able to get those things also and be Krishna conscious, but we may not have that ability. And if we try to get it, our Krishna conscious may get affected. Yeah, correct. Yes, Soni Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So association of senior devotees who are even more exalted, so that will keep us grounded. Simplicity
Yeah,
and service attitude. This one is most important.
yeah, yeah.
Always be in service attitude.
Yeah, through service attitude, the material desires will get purified, and so we'll be less distracted. That's also good. Okay, thank you. Yes, bro, you want to say why couldn't you
Can I
get
answer,
it?
Prabhuji?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not
I
able
want to
to
say
hear
that by
you.
becoming less opulent, not becoming. I said, Prabhuji, by becoming less opulent, not
Mm,
having least desire to be opulent.
yeah. Yeah. If we become opulent, it will be give more desires to become more opulent. So keeping a simple lifestyle that can help us. Okay. Yeah. So in this section, we saw how the
Thank you,
endeavors
Prabhuji.
in the thank you. So the endeavors in this Nishkam Karma Yoga, they will not get lost. Neha Bikramana Shosti. So that verse we saw. Then the how in the Nishkama Karma Yoga the intelligence is focused because it is focused on purification and liberation. And in the Sakama Karma, it is many branched because there are multiple desires. Swarga, money, opulence, different things, prestige. So it is confused. And how there is a description of how Sakama Karma Yoga. It's a elaborate. It's a they are very big endeavors for heavenly happiness and all, and they think that this is the ultimate thing and nothing is there for nothing more. And now we saw how for a sakama karma person it is very difficult to focus because of all these distractions on spiritual knowledge. Okay, so we will study further, and Krishna eventually explains how intelligence gets purified while performing Nishkam karma. Okay, any questions on what we discussed?
Prabhuji, the recording is available. I want to listen the lectures again and then
Yeah,
again
yeah,
and again.
it will be available. You can ask Shrikant Prabhu, he will help you.
Okay. And this notes also.
Hi, notes I will share the link.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Okay. So, yeah. So if
Prabhuji,
there are enough,
Prabhu,
yes.
big thanks to both you and Shrikant Prabhu. So diligently you are conducting this course, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
No, no much. Yeah. Okay. Thank
Prabhuji,
you.
what is
Yeah.
that Jyotis?
Toma
There was some
sacrifice. Huh?
word. Yes,
Yeah.
Jyotis to sacrifice.
Yeah. It's mostly it is for attaining uh, moon planet. I think. Yeah. Mostly it is for that. I'll try to find out and say, but it is mostly for the attending the moon planet, the sacrifices. Okay, yeah. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila
Thank
Prabhupada
you,
ki
Prabhuji.
jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat
Srila
pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhupada.
Haribol. Dandavat pranam.
Jai, 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 jai.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Wonderful. Never ever could understand Bhagavad Gita the way I'm trying to understand. Like every concept
Hare
is getting
Krishna.
cleared.